And we are live. Howtodunk training, everyone. Thanks to everyone who watched yesterday's podcast. It was my first one, and I've just come up with this cool new idea to upload podcasts to my SoundCloud. For today's podcast, which is episode 2, I'm going to be talking about debunking the supplement industry, what really works and what doesn't. And I have my brother with me, who's been in this game for a while now. Has been training for a few years. He's done a lot of research online and has a lot of experience. So I'll be asking him a few important questions about the supplement industry, and hopefully we can get you guys some good responses, tips, and information that you can apply to your training and lifestyle. So I'm going to start off with, it's a bit dark to see. We're going to start off with protein, which is the most, talked about supplement and how much protein you need, etc., etc. So first question to do with protein is, how much protein do we really need? Let's say your average guy who's been training for a decent period, 2 years, he wants to start using protein. What's the best recommendation for him?
Alright, hey guys, Mike over here. Look, in my opinion, when it comes to protein, your body needs a certain amount and your individual needs will vary depending on the person, depending on your weight, how often you're training volume, all these factors come into play. So with protein, it's important to calculate the right amount. So I'd say 1
gram per pound of body weight?
Yeah, look guys, from my personal experience with protein, I've found that anything more than 1 gram per pound of body weight, and this is proven through studies, the excess is actually not going to do you any extra good. For example, it's just you're basically wasting your money.
You're not going to be absorbing it right.
You're not going to be absorbing it.
That's what I heard.
Your body can only absorb a certain amount of protein and actually use it. The rest is actually going to be putting more strain on your kidneys, and it's going to be filtered out. So essentially, you're just dumping your money down the toilet if you're overdoing it with the protein. And look, in my case, at the moment, I'm getting more than enough protein through my diet, so I haven't actually been using supplementation for protein recently. Look, if you're a guy that is struggling to eat enough protein, then a protein supplement definitely will help you, reach your target for protein for the day. So,
So you said 1 gram.
1 gram per pound of body weight.
That's a rough estimate, I guess.
Roughly, if you're someone that's training 3 to 5 days a week,
might need a little bit more. Yeah,
that's how much you need. You're not gonna need more than that.
Sweet.
From my personal experience, I found when I went overboard with that, it's just resulted in irritating the bowel and no extra gains.
Yeah,
basically, it's definitely hasn't made any difference. And this is over years of experience and training.
Just a follow-up question: what brands would you recommend in your opinion?
For protein, I wouldn't go specifically.
I know
Optimum
Optimum Nutrition Whey is very talked about. That's very commonly.
That one is highly marketed. What I'd do when it comes to protein, I'd look for a good clean source of pure whey protein isolate. So I'd look at the back label there and make sure it's clean whey isolate. It's also a good thing to know which source you're getting it from and do some research and see some independent test results to make sure what you're getting is actually that much protein as it states there. It's been independently tested by a lab, and also that you're not getting a bunch of heavy metals and other kind of nasty stuff in there that you don't want.
Yeah, definitely don't want that. Yeah, sweet. So that sums it up with protein. Hope you guys got a lot out of that. We're going to move on to creatine, because Mike spoke about creatine being one of the only really researched supplements.
That's correct. Yep.
And studied. So what's your views on creatine? You talk very highly of creatine.
Yeah,
some people talk a lot about, it's going to bloat your muscles, going to give you too much water and stuff. That's the negative stigma I heard, but I've never used it, so I'm going to take it from someone who's used it and has had experience with it. So what's your opinion on creatine?
Yeah, look, with creatine, from my experience, I've been using creatine for the last few years, on and off, not using it continuously for over a year, but I'd say from my on and off experience with creatine, there's that highly talked about method of so-called loading creatine, where you're taking 5 grams of creatine 5 times per day. So for the first week, you're loading 25 grams of creatine. And as I said, guys, this is just from my personal experience. That loading method, it'll saturate your muscles faster, and you'll reach that saturation level that you want in 1 week versus 3 weeks if you're just taking the teaspoon 5 grams of creatine per day. But from my experience, it caused more harm than good. a lot more bloating, gastrointestinal stress. So if you guys are like me, I'd say give it a go, see what suits you. But yeah, from my personal experience, I prefer to do the way where I'm just taking 1 teaspoon a day, post-workout, with either my meal or my shake, depending on what my post-workout protein intake was like at the time. And that's what I found to be optimum for me. That worked a lot better for me and avoided all that, extra stress on my bowels and extra bloating and all these things that creatine has a negative stigma for. So
yeah, definitely.
Other than that,
continue.
I'd say with creatine, it is one of the few supplements that so-called works. And when I say works, it's not some kind of magic that you're just going to blow up, but creatine will give you those extra few reps in the gym. It does have a noticeable effect, and it does actually. It's been researched through studies to increase lean body mass in athletes as well as elderly people, and it's got a bunch of other benefits, cognitive and health benefits. There's a lot of studies done on it. It's one of the actual supplements that has actually been heavily researched, both medically and on athletes and non-athletes. So, and it is an essential. It's an essential blend of amino acids for the body, basically.
Yeah. So just a quick follow-up question to that. Say you're doing a workout program or whatever, you work out a lot, but how long should you stay on creatine at one time? Should you cycle it? Should you do it in periods and then go off it for a little bit? Because that's what people worry about, taking things for too long for an extended period of time. I feel like it starts to bring some shivers down their spine, and they want to kind of, find an effective way to use it, but also a long-term plan that can be healthy and sufficient for their body.
Well, look, in terms of that, we can look at creatine in two ways, both safety and efficiency. So in terms of safety, it has been proven safe to use it for extended periods of time, and extended, I'm talking a year at a time.
Wow.
I've regularly checked my blood, and I haven't found, doctors have examined my blood, and there hasn't been any negative effects whatsoever on the kidneys. That being said, someone that does have existing health issues, kidney issues, should definitely be wary of that. But if you're a healthy person, in terms of safety, there would be nothing wrong for you to take it for up to a year. In terms of efficiency, I'd say it is better to cycle on and off it. And about what I usually do is 4 months on, and then I'll take 2 months off before I get on it again.
Sweet. Yeah. So there you have it. That's pretty mind blowing about creatine. I didn't know all those great things, but yeah. So I guess, of course, you want to consult with your doctor or nutritionist if you have any follow-up questions, if you want to go into detail about these things. But that's a good basic to intermediate analysis about creatine, and yeah, hopefully it helps you out. So we're just going to take a quick break. We're going to do some shopping, and when we get back, we've got 2 more topics to talk about. So the third topic will be vitamins and minerals, which ones are effective and which ones you should be taking. And finally, we're going to finish off on a pretty controversial topic about pre-workout. I've heard a lot of negative things about pre-workouts and companies putting certain chemicals in it that have caused weird heart palpitations and it's caused some serious health risks to certain individuals. So we'll talk about pre-workout, which ones are safe to use, and is there an alternative? Could you just get what you're getting from pre-workout from coffee in itself? So more to come when we get back. We'll be with you shortly. Hey guys, so we're just back. As we were walking, Mike came up with a pretty interesting idea to speak a little bit about weight gainer shakes, which is something I actually forgot about. And as I've been walking down aisles in supermarkets and also supplement stores, I see that they're pretty heavily populated, and a lot of people want to sell it to you, especially to those to individuals who just start training and kind of just get to the gym, and more so the ones that are really skinny, a little bit underweight and stuff. Automatically, people at supplement stores say, hey, take these weight gainer shakes. And not just that, even online. So they're pretty commonly talked about, but they're not that great after all. There's a lot of downsides to them and a lot of unnecessary extras that are actually put in these products. So I'll give it to Mike for a bit, and he'll tell you a bit about these products and why he recommends personally to just get your calories off meals and to avoid taking these weight gainer shakes. So, what's your view on these weight gainer shakes? You spoke a bit about them before.
Hey guys, look, with these weight gainer shakes, the whole point of them is certain people are not able to eat enough of their calories, so they'll drink their calories as another way of getting it in because they don't have the appetite to actually eat them. What I'd suggest is, if you're trying to gain weight, rather than focusing on, eating lots of chicken and broccoli, which is not going to add up very much in calories, but it is going to make you very full. You're going to be full if you're eating a lot of chicken and broccoli. All these clean so-called bro foods, they're going to make you full, but you're not going to get your calories in, and they're going to actually stop you from eating other foods which are dense in calories. So what I'd do is I'd base my meals around calorie-dense foods, all right? Such as, have some fatty steak with some eggs and keep the fucking yolk in there. Don't throw out the yolk. Eat the entire thing, all right? This is where you're going to get your calories from to gain weight and mass. Now, the weight gainer shakes, they're just basically an overpriced protein powder, all right? It's protein mixed with lots of sugars in there, basically. It's overpriced. You're wasting your money.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And they are quite hard on your digestion too. So what I'd suggest is...
And these are probably the same people who are taking protein and creatine too. Like, just think about what all these things can do to your bowel and digestive system. I wouldn't be mixing too many products in one.
The thing with these weight gainer shakes is it'll be a mixture of protein, creatine...
A lot of carbs too.
Lots of carbs from simple sugars, stuff like this, but they'll charge you a ridiculous amount rather than if you buy your whey separately, buy your creatine separately, which, by the way, guys, creatine is dirt cheap. You'll get about 4 months of creatine for about $15, $20. It's one of the cheapest supplements you can get out there, the cheapest and most effective. So don't waste your money on weight gainer shakes. If you struggle to eat your calories and you're eating all these calorie-dense foods and for some reason you still can't get enough in, make your own weight gainer shakes at home. It's much cheaper and it's better for you. Put a scoop of whey, some whole milk, a banana. You can make it at home. A scoop of honey. All these things will add up in calories. The same amount of calories.
All things that you have in your basic kitchen. Just take a walk around. You'll find all these products. Don't need to look far for them.
Yeah. Keep your wallet.
And quickly, I just came up with another idea. He was talking a bit about the eggs and keeping your yolk. What do you have to say to all those bro scientists out there that say, I'm not going to keep eating these yolks, they're gonna screw up my heart, too much cholesterol,
Look, it's been proven that
it's very well talked about, the yellow of the egg and its relation to cholesterol.
Cholesterol is largely determined actually by it's manufactured by your liver, and it's largely determined by your liver health and your genetics. So this so-called myth about egg yolks, you're going to get heart disease and a heart attack. Look it up. This myth has been debunked recently. This is an old myth from ancient times. It's no longer actually relevant.
Yeah, because people are failing to realise that there's a lot of benefits in eggs, and by taking out the yolks, you're missing out on a lot of vitamins and minerals and
not to mention essential fatty acids in there.
Essential fatty acids.
Your body needs fats, guys.
Your body needs fats to grow. When you're training a lot, fats are very important.
Fat and cholesterol is one of the basic building blocks of hormones in your body. You guys who want to get big out there, fats are what's going to build and naturally increase your testosterone production.
Absolutely.
Because fat is the main building block for the synthesis of testosterone. You can look it up, guys.
Yeah. So, that was great. Now we'll move on to our third topic, which was written down. So, vitamins and minerals. I've got down here zinc, magnesium, vitamin D. Should you just stick to these? Is there more? And what are the benefits of taking these vitamins? What do you recommend?
Look, if you're not deficient in a vitamin or mineral, having excess of a vitamin or mineral is going to do fuck all. It's just a waste of money and you're going to just piss them out.
Yep.
Certain vitamins and minerals...
So you recommend they get blood work?
Blood work, absolutely, to determine your serum levels of vitamins and minerals.
Yep.
You can check this with blood work, guys. But look, if you're eating your calorie-dense foods and, foods with high nutritious value, such as your steak and eggs, you're going to be getting your zinc, you're going to be getting your magnesium if you're eating your vegetables, you're going to be getting these. For those of you who have a very high training volume, it's been proven that zinc and magnesium and vitamin D are the three most common nutritional deficiencies in athletes, simply because you excrete a lot of, especially zinc and magnesium, through sweat. vitamin D if it's another very common deficiency, especially if you're not out in the sun. So what I'd recommend is, if there is 3 that you want to supplement, it'd be worth your time supplementing
I
these.
would add B6 into this equation too.
Yes, B6
B6
also.
is pretty
and
important.
Look, guys, a convenient way of getting zinc, magnesium, and B6 is to take a basic supplement called ZMA, which can also enhance your sleep. So take it before bed. It's also been proven if you're deficient, keyword deficient, in these vitamins and minerals, they can boost your natural testosterone production, especially zinc and magnesium. So it is worth your while checking these, doing the blood work and checking your levels of these essential vitamins and minerals and seeing where you're at.
Yeah, well, that's great. And finally, we're going to be talking about pre-workout. And do you really need to take pre-workout, or can you find a safer and better alternative to it? What are your view on pre-workouts? Have you taken a pre-workout before? Have you tried one?
I've briefly used pre-workouts, and I mean, I could say I haven't noticed any negatives that I could say with pre-workouts, but what I found is
what about these companies that are having all these health claims about
there have been
heart
cases,
attacks, overdoses and stuff?
Yes, there have been cases where certain pre-workouts have had added stimulants in there, some of which were not even listed on the label, such as methamphetamines and other things in some cases. What I find personally is it's just best to stick to simple caffeine. You can get caffeine tablets if you like, or you can even get it through coffee. If you're having 3 shots of coffee before your workout, that's what I personally do, and I found that it's no less of a buzz for me than taking, one of those branded pre-workouts. The only difference is it's much cheaper. It's equally as effective for me. And, if you want to get your certain amino acids in there to boost the blood flow to your muscles, you can buy those amino acids separately and mix them together. It's getting cheaper for you, and you know what you're getting.
But I feel like you shouldn't be having to rely on, I guess, these pre-workouts or caffeine to think that you're going to have an effective workout. Because say you're taking a lot and then it runs out, you stop taking it for a bit, you're going to think, oh shit, like my workout's not going to be up to scratch as it was before. But I don't think it's always true. Like, your energy level is going to vary from day to day. Yeah, sure, a bit of caffeine in the morning will give you a boost. But at the end of the day, it's more about what kind of work you want to put in and how hard you want to train. It's more about like your own self-motivation. These stimulants, I guess, help to some degree. But if you don't really have a passion for training, if you don't want to do those heavy squats and scream a bit and really put the energy into the work, you're better off just not wasting your money and time taking these things. So I think for these things to be very effective, you need to combine them with your own self-will and motivation to train. What do you think? Is that a fair enough statement?
Undoubtedly, your drive and self-will to train is number one. Also, another thing which can impact your energy levels is your lifestyle. How much sleep are you getting?
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you getting enough calories?
Look at all these other external factors before.
How long are you training for? Are you overtraining? Yeah. It's not just you could say, there's no such thing as overtraining, but it's under recovery. Yeah. Are you not recovering enough? Yeah, and that's something we'll definitely talk about in the next few podcasts. We'll talk about training. We'll break it down. We'll talk about diet. So, thanks to everyone for tuning into. Hopefully, I gave you some good advice. Hopefully, me and Mike gave you some great advice on the supplement industry, what to take, what's effective, and quite frankly, what you are better off just not taking and wasting your money on. So, thanks to everyone who tuned into the podcast. I have a lot more of these coming. This one's episode 2. I'll post the link in the description soon. I'm hoping to upload this one in a few days, so you guys will see that. And make sure to tell your friends and family and anyone who's into training, who wants motivation, who wants to increase their vertical jump, or just simply become a better person in life. Tell them about my podcast. It's called the Elevate Podcast. Capital ELEVATE followed by podcast, and then in brackets at Howtodunk, because there's another few podcasts on SoundCloud which have a similar name, but that's how you find mine. I'll put plenty of links in the descriptions, and hope you all have a good day.